So everybody, this is Vince Meza with Listings to Leads, and this is our call about Facebook advertising, which is pretty exciting because we have some really new stuff that we've been launching this year and making improvements on, and we're getting just great results. And if you're not getting great results, you need to get involved and start using it, because that's where you start getting the results. Run ads on Facebook have not gotten leads through Facebook, may have through Facebook exposure. Okay, Alvin, have you run ads with our system inside Listings to Leads? So answer that question for me, because if you ran ads inside of our platform and you didn't get leads, yeah, I would be completely surprised. But you didn't run it through our system, so that's why you're not getting leads. Yeah, there are a lot of, before we dive into that, let me just tell you a little bit about Listings to Leads in case you don't know. We have a number of tools here to help agents who have listings, and we have a number of tools for agents who don't have listings. And regardless of if you have listings or if you don't have listings, we're going to help you get buyer leads or seller leads. Okay. Now, we've got a whole lot of automated tools that we generate when you have listings. If you want to borrow a listing, we're going to auto-generate a bunch of tools. We can auto-post to your social media. We create virtual tours and single property websites. We give you unlimited landing pages, all kinds of stuff you can do to capture leads and market with our platform. But this call is about Facebook advertising, so we're going to really concentrate on that aspect of the system. Run ads on Facebook, walled garden, and got leads. Have not through walled garden. Yeah, I've heard of walled garden. I don't quite know who they are. I think I just recently heard of them. And if I know anything, I don't want to misspeak, but it's a really kind of funny platform where whatever you're paying, they're basically taking a third of your money for them and then running the ad, which is whatever. Maybe you like that model. Let's go log into my system here. And let's talk about what Listings to Leads does for our clients. So when you log in today, you're going to see this thing about 50 PDF guides that generate buyer and seller leads. This is actually directly related to our Facebook stuff. Let's go over to the ad section right here. There's an ads tab. When you come here the first time, it will not look like this. It will have one big blue button and it'll say connect to your Facebook account. And you'll click that, it'll take you to a Facebook page and it'll say continue as you with your personal name, and you say yes. And then it will say next page, it will say what business pages do you want, right? And those are going to be your Facebook real estate business pages. You click those on the radio button, you save and done, and then you come back here and you will have 3 green buttons: create listing ads, create landing page ads, and PDF report ads. Now I just showed you when we logged in, there's that picture of Scott pointing at something. We've got 50 PDF reports already written for you, okay? So whatever you want to do, these types of ads are going to, 1, either capture leads, or 2, keep you in front of your old leads. So let's start on the left here at create a listing ad. And well, let me ask you, let's see here. How long have you been with Listings to Leads? I want to just ask this. If you could just put in a number of years or months, I'd like to know, because boy, there's a lot of new people here. And I'm just curious, like, if you even understand the basics of Listings to Leads. So I click the button here to create a listing ad, and I got a bunch of listings in my account. And if you can see it, some are in contract, some are sold, some are for sale, some are open house for sale. And here's the thing that you should know is most agents don't know that you can update the status of your listing in our system. Ideally, realtors think it's going to automatically update from your MLS. And I tell you, the majority of the time that does not happen. Meaning the majority of the time, your MLS does not let us know that your home is sold. And when your home is sold, we create some awesome tools for you to get more listings. So just so you know, when a home is under contract or pending or active contingent or sold, all of our call to actions flip. They flip to getting buyers to getting sellers, okay? So let's start with an open house here. All right, I've got an open house. Now, Alvin has told us he didn't capture any leads. I want to tell all of you, leave this button, this radio button right here, which says lead ads, and then click create ad. So what lead ads does is that's a form created inside of Facebook that when a person clicks on the ad, you see the ad over here on the right. When somebody clicks on the ad, this form pops up and says, hey, do you want that answer? And they pre-populate a form with their name, email, and phone number, okay? And that's great. Now you have a lead. For them to get the detail on that open house, you're gonna get their name, email, and phone number, okay? So this is all you gotta do. This home is in Berkeley, so I'm gonna type Berkeley, California, and you could change your radius if you want. You could make it wider if you want more people to see that home is for sale. We default to a $35 budget and a 7-day ad, so it's about $5 a day. And one thing I'll tell you is if you go over here, it says, hey, open house, click here or text here to get the details, and then it's a home that's for sale, right? So in this case, we're looking for buyers, right? This home is for sale, looking for buyers. You could easily just, boom, click publish, and you'd be done. Type in the location and click publish. There are some advanced things that I want you totally to understand. I'm going to click advanced options here, and then I can say, oh, and you can choose what business page you want it to go to, what Instagram page you want it to go to. But let's say there's something special about this house. You see this box down here where I'm typing in here. I'm going to just type in great schools because that didn't actually come up in the little auto pulled data, right? So I'm going to say great schools, and you'll notice that while I type it in this box, it actually shows up here where the ad is going to be, right? So that's a big part of, if you've got something special to say about a home, click that advanced options and do that, okay? The other thing that, and I'll close this, the other really important thing, and I mentioned this earlier quickly, and there's a box here that says retarget current leads. This gets us into a big discussion of retargeting. I'm going to give you a simple discussion. If you want to ask more questions about this later, we'll talk about it later. When you turn on retargeting in listings to leads, we create a file inside of your Facebook account and we toss all your leads there, okay? Any leads we capture for you, we're going to put in that file, and that file is going to be visible right here. So when you run your ad, let's say today I got an open house, I can say, yeah, I want everybody within 15 miles of Berkeley to see this, but I want all my old leads, which will be visible right here, to see that as well. So we're going to be dynamically creating a file, one big file, and every time you capture a lead, we're going to put them in there. And every time you run an ad, you should be retargeting. You should be, because the thing about capturing leads, I know in real estate fantasy land, you capture a lead today and they're in signing a contract in your office tomorrow. But that's not reality. You have to convert leads, right? And part of converting leads is dripping on them, but a really smart way of converting leads is keep running ads in front of them because they responded to one of your ads one time. And if they keep responding, if they keep seeing you, they're going to go, oh yeah, I really want to talk to that person. You'll notice that this is sponsored by Listings to Leads, and that's because I'm connected to our Facebook ad account. Every ad you run is sponsored by your Real Estate Rockstar business page on Facebook, right? So you want to touch somebody multiple times with ads and with emails and all the other great important ways of converting leads. You want to touch them multiple times, but having retargeting turned on will allow you to stay in front of those leads on Facebook. So let's see, I got some questions here. Martin's been with us 5 days, Janice 1 year. Alvin, you've been with us 18 months. I do use L2L posts for Facebook, not ads, yeah. When we retarget, can we exclude people? No, you can't. When you retarget, these are people inside your file, okay? So like I just mentioned, we're creating a file for you. So you can't exclude anybody. You know, you just go to the file and take those people out if you don't want to be targeting them anymore, okay? So you control your own custom audience. We're going to create a custom audience for you, but then you can see here it says custom audience. We're going to create that for listings to leads. You can also create your own custom audiences. You might have a bunch of leads sitting in your CRM that are not calling you. You could create a custom audience in Facebook and it would be visible for you to use and retarget here. But if you don't want to target somebody, just take them out of your list, okay? So this is an ad for a listing for a buyer. Let's go look, and you remember I was talking earlier about later stage properties, like sold, for instance. Let's do another ad, lead ads for sold, okay? It could be the same property, like 3 weeks later. You just go and update it as sold, and there you go. So this one is in Auburn, and I'm going to type in Auburn. Oh, I got the caps on. Indiana. And sorry, I hit it with my big hand. Indiana. And you can see, you know, there's a minimum radius, lifetime budget. There's one thing that I would tell you, you know, I talk to a lot of realtors and they often think, I sold all my properties, I have nothing to do, I can't use listings to leads. And I'm like, really? And like, yeah, I just sold a property in 4 days. And I'm like, that's crazy and that's awesome. And that's actually what you should be marketing, right? So if you've got a property that's sold above asking, or it's sold, you got 8 contracts, or it's sold in 7 days, you know what you do? You get that property, you change it to sold, and you click on advanced options, and you say, you know, in contract in 4 days. You know, the people I've seen agents say, you know, 30 grand, 30K above the Zestimate, right? I mean, that's one of those things that you're always sort of fighting against, is the Zillow estimate, right? And now you're able to say, hey, I got 10% above asking, or I got, you know, 10 grand above asking, or I sold it in 4 days. Really, this speaks to, you know, our most basic things about, you know, in human nature, which is, you know, fear and greed, right? If you can get me more money, I'm talking to you, right? If you can do this for me in 4 days and take the pain out of my life, I'm talking to you. And so you should definitely be thinking of this when you're running sold ads. Now, notice it says your home value has been affected. Click here or text here, because I'm using our text, to get your free home value. So we're offering a free home value on later stage properties. We're getting you listing leads on later stage properties. If you ignore it or forget it, well, you're walking away from listings. If you want listings, you know, you need to be marketing sold properties. It's a really great way of getting listings. So let's go back to the ad section. And there are other kinds of ads that we can run, right? There's landing page ads and there's PDF report ads. Now, let's go to landing page ads. Let's talk about this one that we default to, which is the free home value one. I'm going to leave it on lead ads. And I want to really be clear about this one, because obviously a free home value ad is designed for capturing listing leads, okay? And this is one of those things that most realtors think is the top way of getting listing leads. I actually have some Property Valuation Plus ones for my neighborhoods. I want to show you a particular neighborhood one, because just running a generic free home value doesn't really work really well. And that's because, let me give you a description of where I live. I live in California in a Contra Costa County, okay? And Contra Costa County is big. I mean, it's, well, I mean, I'm sure there are bigger counties, but there's at least 30 different towns in here. And our home prices are not the same across our county. If you live in Pleasant Hill, average home prices are in one you know, bracket, one value. If you live in Antioch, average home prices are at a different value. If you live in Lafayette or you live in Alamo, they're at a much higher value. So running a countywide or generic home value ad doesn't speak to us when we want to know the value of our home. Okay. If I live in Pleasant Hill, I want to talk to somebody, I'm going to respond to something about Pleasant Hill because that's where I live, right? And this ad says August home values in Pleasant Hill are in and your home value has changed. Click here to get your free value, right? That makes sense. So let's just imagine what would happen if I ran that ad. So the first thing is you can't do it for less than a 15-mile radius. Now, I'm going to just assume you guys don't even know where Pleasant Hill is, but let me just show you where Pleasant Hill in California is. Because, you learn the technical way of, oh, Vince said to type this here and click that button and check that. But sometimes agents don't actually look at the real world or just use any common sense. This is Pleasant Hill, this little white area here. And a 15-mile radius of this ad means that this ad is going to be visible to people all the way out here in Pittsburgh, to all the way down here in Alamo, Lafayette, even Berkeley. And all these towns out here, just a big old circle of people are going to see it. But I'm really just trying to target that, right? That little neighborhood there, that little town. That's one of the big reasons why home value ads are not great for high quality leads, because they just overshoot, right? Had you been taking a class from us or any of those great, awesome real estate advertising gurus all over the internet, you would have heard that running home value ads on Facebook is just the way to go. And actually, give me a second, I got too much stuff here. People were coming in just last week and asking that very same question in the Mastermind group. What do I do? How do I run ads targeting sellers? Like, this is a guy who is telling us he's selling a lot of homes in a particular town and he wants to run an ad targeting sellers. And I just told him, like, my response was, go use an ad. The nearby homeowner letter is way better than running an ad, because first of all, you're going to overshoot. The other big thing is realtors have been running ads for years, and that's a fairly fleshed out concept, blown out, watered down. It's not as effective anymore. It's basically not effective because Facebook has gotten themselves in trouble, and you cannot target the way you used to 4 years ago. So I do recommend running an ad like this. As you can see, again, it's sponsored by your business page, not my listings to leads. And I think it's more a better branding exercise to tell your market that you can give them free home values, right? You're a resource in the market. And that's important. That's probably the better thing about a home valuation ad, is it's going to allow you to capture, it's going to allow you to brand that you are really, that kind of professional. Now, another kind of landing page ad that I definitely like is new construction, right? We're going to leave it on lead ad so we get our leads with our phone numbers, and create an ad. And we create this landing page automatically for you. It's sitting in your box. You know what I mean? It's sitting in your landing page section. You may not even know it exists, but it's there. And if you want to capture leads for people who are looking for new construction, you can type in Pleasant Hill, right? Hey, Pleasant Hill, right? And shoot the ad in the same area and publish. It's already pre-written. They're going to find out, they're going to get a free report, all this. Here's the thing about new construction. Again, let's apply a little common sense. If you think of all the buyers in your markets, let's just say there's 100 buyers. Of those 100, what percentage of them do you think want new construction? Like, that's the absolute. I'm just going to throw out a number. It's not more than 10%, because I think most people are thinking, I want a home that fits in my price range, right? And so new construction is nice to have, but not must have, right? And so that's where you got to kind of think, if I run this ad, I may not get as many leads as with that first open house or that first just listed ad that I showed you earlier. Because in that case, it's like, this home is for sale, you can buy it now, and you're going to get the price. You're going to know the price right now. So new construction ads are smart to do, but you don't get the most amount of buyer leads. Okay. So you can also create your own custom landing pages on the landing page section. They'll all be visible right down here, so that you can create, you might have a unique message because you're all unique. You're all different kinds of agents. You don't do exactly the same kind of business. If you got a special story to tell, go over to the landing page section, create a custom landing page, and then run an ad and drive it in front of thousands of people. And the last one is the create PDF report ads, okay? And when you click here, you notice we've got seller reports and we've got buyer reports. So who do you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to more, you want to get more listings, or do you want to get more buyers? Doesn't matter to us. These are all written, they're pretty high level, so they're functional across the entire country. And when you run an ad with this, we're going to deliver it to them. All they have to do is give you their name, phone number, and email. Okay. So I want to tell you a couple of other things. Over here is a settings button. You could change these reports to Spanish if you want, right? You could change the color theme. Maybe you're with some other, company. We usually default to like a standard blue look. You might have, you might be part of an agency that we have some brands, or you can create your custom colors here, right? But whatever you want to do, you save that, and notice now everything has got this new color scheme, and now it's in Spanish, but I'm telling you, my Spanish is not that good. I've been working on it lately. I'm gonna put it back to English, and I'm gonna run an ad for this 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. Now, I will tell you this, you see this little white button here, you can download it and you can look at it. You're going to notice that your picture and your contact information from your LDL profile is going to be on every page. You can download it, you can print it, you can give it away if you want to do that too. You put it in an envelope and just door knock and leave it. But you can also run ads like this, okay? And this is pretty good because I'm going to type in Pleasant Hill again, and as you know, it's going to shoot out there's a 15-mile radius, right? But this ad doesn't talk about Pleasant Hill. It just says, hey, these are the 12 mistakes to avoid. So this is actually a really good ad. Turn on your retargeting. You don't even need to mess with what's written here because it's solid. It works all over the place. And publish. And it doesn't matter if people see it in Alamo or Lafayette or Walnut Creek or Berkeley, because this is going to be useful for those people too. The only thing is, it's not real, it's not like specific about a particular neighborhood, which if you're trying to focus on a neighborhood, we really, you just can't do it with Facebook ads. So these reports are great. They're all pre-written. Like I said, you can go right to, you can change the color scheme of the PDFs. Your contact information is on every PDF, on every page. And, definitely use this. So let me give you a high level way to think of Facebook. And what I mean by high level is, I'm sure you know that you've got to do things in the marketing realm consistently, right? You got to be consistent in your marketing. So you should definitely be thinking consistently. You need a consistent ad strategy for Facebook. And here's why. You may not know this, but 70% of American adults spend 40 minutes a day on Facebook. That's a lot of time, 40 minutes every day. Let me explain to you kind of what that's all about. I'm going to click on I just clicked on my page here, right? And so here you come to Facebook, and this is called the Newsfeed here. There's my friend Debbie doing something. It's my friend Valerie. Oh, Valerie, great. And then you see whatever, and you're gonna see an ad here, right? Your ads show up right on this page. This is an ad from some company on an art deal, right? So if you want your ad, if you want to be seen where everybody is looking, people are just scrolling through this feed all day long, looking at pictures of their friends and family, looking at the food they eat, looking at the movie stars and all that great stuff, right? If you have a consistent ad strategy, you're going to be seen by all those people, right? All those, not just your friends, but the thousands of people that live within 15 miles of your targets. And you can, of course, expand that. Can you talk about adding a customer, a lookalike audience, which is grayed out? Yeah, we did talk about that, Martin. I'll talk about it again in a minute. So you definitely, so I want to give you just a way of thinking about Facebook, because remember, I said people spend 40 minutes a day. 70% of US adults, not kids, US adults spend 40 minutes a day on Facebook. Where do you think they spend more time than 40 minutes? I'll give you the answer. Television, right? They're looking at TV longer than they're looking at Facebook. But I don't know your budget, your ad budget. So I don't know if you can afford to be running ads on a consistent basis on television. I'm going to assume you can't, just for sake of conversation. So let me give you a budget that you should be definitely having on a monthly basis on Facebook, okay? It should be minimally, and I mean minimally, $200 a month. On average, it should really be about $300 a month. If you're an agent with 4 or 5 or more listings, any given time, whether they're just listed or open house or sold, all combined, if you got that many listings that you're working at a single time, you should probably be spending $400 to $500 a month. A couple of hundred of running ads on those properties with the create listing ad button that I just shown you. And then a couple of hundred on PDF report ads and maybe a landing page ad, right? If, let's just say you're an agent with no business, like you don't have any listings, okay, but you're an agent, so you want to get your brand out and you want to talk to buyers and sellers. What should that look like? That's a minimum $200 budget, okay? Now, I didn't mention this earlier, but on the listings page, there's a green button here where you can add listings, and you can grab a listing. If you have a colleague who has a listing and you can borrow their listing, just drop in their zip code for the property and the MLS ID and deselect this so it says it's not your listing, and click grab, and we'll pull in that listing and it will sit right here on this list, and it will be available over here for you to run an ad on. Now, if you're looking for buyers, that's the #1 way of getting buyer leads with phone numbers, is to borrow a listing, come over here and click this and do this. Now, I've shown you how to do that, so I'm not going to walk you through that the whole thing over again. But you should minimally, and this is for an agent with no listings of their own at all, you should be running at least one $20 ad for 4 days. That's $5 a day every week, okay? Now, a $20 ad, depending on where you are in the country, are going to, one $20 ad for 4 days will be seen by 2,000 to 4,000 people. Okay, now that's a big range, and that's because some of you live in small rural towns and some of you live in big metropolitan areas. So that's why that spread is so big. But, you know, let's just say it's 3,000 for a $20 ad, okay? You're gonna do that every week. So that's $80 every month spent on 4 ads on a listing, whether it's your listing or a borrowed listing, okay? Then during the same week, run one either landing page ad or a PDF report ad. But this time, that minimum budget, I'm gonna change it, 5 dangers of overpricing. Make your minimum budget $30, okay? So this helps you because if you don't have a lot of listings, you might not have a huge budget, but you still need to market. And you'll notice when I change it to 30, it's saying, wait a minute, Facebook wants $5 a day minimum to run that. So I changed it to a 4-day ad or something like that. And there it is. That message goes away. All right. So what I'm saying to you is every week, run a $20 listing ad and a $30 ad from on either a PDF report or a landing page. Now, since you put $30 on it, more people are going to see this. So that's 8 ads a week. I'm sorry, 2 ads a week, which means 8 ads a month. And as I mentioned, 2,000 to 3,000 people. That means that your business page is going to be seen, because it's sponsoring every ad, over 15,000 times a month, and probably up to 20,000 times. People on Facebook are going to start recognizing that you are a realtor. Imagine that your Facebook market recognizes month after month, 15,000 times that you're a real estate agent, right? What do you think that's going to do for your brand? I don't know really what you think you're doing for you as a realtor, as a brand. I know years ago, prior to the, and this is a long time ago, I don't know how long you guys been agents, but prior to the mortgage meltdown, realtors felt like, I don't even need the brand because I can go out and talk to people in a restaurant, and I got all these title people and these insurance, and business just coming over the fence here, right? That's, the world has kind of inverted since then. Inventory is super tight, and it's going to be harder to get people. So you need to think about, how do I get recognized by thousands of people every month? And how do I collect contact information on maybe hundreds of people every month? So if you're spending $200 a month here, you're going to end up you're going to wind up with between 100 and 250 leads every month. That, and that the reason that number skews is because it depends on how much. If you're looking for seller leads are more expensive. Buyer leads can often cost. Well, let me just show you. I'll just show you right here in our mastermind group. Somebody was talking in our group just like a week ago, that they had run an ad in Florida, and over on the Central Coast, and they were running an ad for $1 million property, right? And that was kind of interesting news because, a lot of people don't think, oh, I've got $1 million properties or luxury properties. It doesn't make sense to run ads on Facebook. And you're completely wrong, because, you can sell $1 million properties. And hey, where did that thing go? I was just looking at it right here. This guy here in Florida runs an ad on $1 million property and is getting 79-cent buyer leads with phone numbers, okay? And it's not his listing. He just borrowed the listing, okay? So now he's got 20 people who are willing to plunk down $1 million on a property. That's a pretty good, for $20, he got 20, I think he said he got 19 leads, something like that. He got 20 leads for $19. That's a good way to use your money, don't you think? Yeah, here's a question. What's the difference from running an ad and boosting posts? I'm going to give you the short answer first. Boosting posts is not nearly as effective as running ads. Now I'll give you the long answer. If you're trying to get listing leads, boosting posts does not work. If you're trying to deliver free PDF reports, boosting posts does not work. And there are a whole number of other reasons why boosting does not work. In some cases, boosting is just fine. And Sally, you've been with us for a while, so I'm not trying to belittle you here. We would have told you a few years ago, like, boosting is smart. We would recommend that you do it. But because of all the weirdness of Facebook, I mean, I don't even train inside Facebook ad manager anymore. That's all I did for years. I would train all of you, including probably you, Sally. Hey, this is how you run an ad on Facebook, and here's how you boost on. But Facebook has changed. It changes every week, and it changes every week, every year. And Facebook is not as effective in every way. Whereas now I can tell you, hey, if you want to run an ad on Facebook, I don't go into the details let's just look at this open house here. We have Facebook software behind these ads. You know what I mean? Like we literally have their software, and Scott and I have discussed every option available to you. Meaning, if you choose a listing and you've got an open house, you should be checking certain boxes on Facebook, okay? You would have had to listen to calls from us to know that. And most agents have not listened to calls from us, so they don't know what to check inside of Facebook when they're running an open house, when they're running a sold property, when they're running something that is under contract or pending. You actually have to touch different things inside of Facebook, right? So Sally, what I'm trying to point out is we have talked with our coders. We have coded it so anytime you click any button and you want to do anything, whether it's a free home value or it's something over here, or a PDF report, we can tell because you are clicking a button. And we have then said, oh, you know what? They are doing that. We've got to check these boxes in the back of Facebook that you don't even know you need to check to make sure that your ad is successful. Okay. So Sally, that is a really long-winded answer, is that you can very often make mistakes and waste your time and money by boosting a post. You would have to know how. And if you go look at our old training classes from 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, you will learn there how to boost properly. But I can tell you, which I've already told you, if you're looking for listing leads, boosting never works. If you're looking for buyer leads, that's the easiest way of thinking of it. If you want buyer leads, go ahead and boost. You're going to be okay. If you want listings, don't do it. It will not help you. So, and people don't know that. They're like, oh, I'm going to boost this and get some listing leads, and oh, that didn't work. Why? So that's it. So somebody else had asked, can we talk about customer lookalike audiences? I am going to talk about that, Martin. Let me just say that this is usually something that is super techy, and something that I would say 5% of realtors know about. I mentioned earlier retargeting. This is, in my opinion, awesome, and it's a great service that we do because retargeting has to do with custom audiences. Now, a custom audience, let's just go into Facebook. Let's see if I can even get there. It's so ugly. Yeah. There's no, Sally, I came across an option. Other companies will boost, everybody will boost for you, everybody, because it's easy, right? I mean, I'm just telling you, it doesn't work if you want listing leads. And also you got, I really, you're telling me about another company. You got to really look at the call to actions of what's going on. There are a ton of companies out there, right? There are a ton of companies. We were just looking at one that it says you, and I might have been mentioned, I don't want to say the name of the company, that to run an ad, it costs you 150 bucks, whatever you want to do. 50 of those dollars go to that company, okay? The rest of the 100 goes to whatever your ad spend is. We don't do that at all. We do not skim off of your ad budget. When you say you want 30 bucks on an ad, 30 bucks goes, 50 bucks, 50 bucks goes. So you got to kind of look at all the things, and then you got to look at what content are they giving you and does it really work and all this and that. But let's go back to this ads manager and let's talk about a custom audience, because this is actually super, super important and valuable to know. But it's like, it's really a handful. I mean, look at this page. This is Facebook. And I'm talking about custom audiences right now. And your heads might start spinning in the next 2 minutes here. Up here in the ad manager is this little 3 tick box here, 3 horizontal lines, all tools, audiences. I got an ad blocker on, so it's giving me that message all the time. Create an audience. create a custom audience. Now, lookalike audience means, well, let's finish the custom audience. What is your source? Let's say a customer list, okay? And let's talk about that. Now, I'm not even gonna get it. I'm not gonna go any further than this because we need to talk about what that list might be. You might have been working, you might have a CRM with 500 or thousands of leads in it, and nobody in that CRM is calling you, right? You can download that, you can export that, and then upload it here as a custom audience so that you've got, 3,000 people sitting, right? Everybody in your CRM who is not calling you, you can upload them as a custom audience to say, hey, you know what? Every time I run an ad, I want to tag those, I want those people in my CRM to see that because they responded to your lead somewhere. Maybe you bought, those really expensive Zillow leads and you've got like 1,000 of those sitting around just doing nothing, collecting, electronic dust. Upload them up here, right? If you've got an old list of leads, create a custom audience, and then after that, you can create a lookalike audience, which says, hey, you have a custom audience. I want more people. Sorry. Creating a lookalike audience means I want to create another list of people that look just like the people inside my custom audience, right? So let me slow down so that if your brain is melting, you understand exactly what I'm saying. Let's say that you bought a list. You didn't buy a list, but let's say you paid Zillow, for a year, and you've got 1,000 leads, and you canceled because you just felt like it was a ripoff, which that's often happens. But you got a bunch of leads, and they're doing nothing, and you upload them here, and now you call them my old Zillow leads, right? And now with retargeting, because you turn on retargeting from our ads, that set is going to be right here, and you say my old Zillow leads, and you can just retarget. So you spent money on them years ago, you still want to get some money out of those people, keep running ads in front of them, okay? So now you've got this list that's called old Zillow leads, and you want to say, select your lookalike source. Well, that could be my old Zillow leads. And so what Facebook does is it says, oh, okay, well, those people that they can see because they're looking at their email addresses and their profiles, they can go, oh, okay, those people kind of look like this. They live in this area. They do these kinds of things because we can see everything that everybody does. So we're going to create a new audience, a lookalike audience. And they are just like those people in your old Zillow leads. That's what a lookalike audience is. And you can create that. And then you can use that for targeting right inside where it says created custom or lookalike audiences. Martin, does that answer your questions? And everybody else, that's a real mouthful. And that is a really not crazy concept, but it is kind of a difficult concept, but it's a very powerful concept that is available to you in Facebook. And when I get in here and start doing this class, I'm really trying to make sure you run 8 ads a month, minimally. If you've got no business, you've got no listings, no nothing, you're just sitting there dead in the water, you should be running 8 ads a month. I hope all of you understand that story. That I can see a bunch of you come on late. Does everybody understand that concept of 8 ads a month? I'd just like a yes or no from you on this chat here. Now, if you're like Martin, I want to make sure, it would be ideal that you turn on our retargeting and you retarget with every one of your ads. And if you've got old leads sitting anywhere, that you go create a custom audience and a lookalike audience. And that is the most powerful thing you can be doing with Facebook. I am not joking. Creating a custom audience of your old leads and using lookalike audiences. This is like advanced stuff that you could not do before. And we are making it dead easy. Yeah. What about audiences created from a source like cold? Totally. Javier, definitely. If you buy a list, let me explain something. I'm going to kind of jump off topic. Yeah, Janice is asking, can we schedule PDF reports to run? We don't have the ability to schedule. That's why you need to, Janice, maybe put in your little calendar, run a PDF report out. That way you can come over here, because let me just show you. I'm going to stop talking. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to run a timer. I got my little handy smartphone here. Let me just show you how quickly it takes to run an ad on a yeah, come on, let's start this. How do you start this dumb thing? Okay, stopwatch, here we go. Okay, no talking. Create a PDF report ad. Which one? This one? Okay. What town? Let's say Lafayette, that's where I live. And I'm gonna say CA, California. Yeah, I'll do this selling home thing. And I'll even expand it 30 miles. And I'll retarget and I'll type in L to L leads. I don't have them attached, and I click publish. That's 30 seconds. So you know what I would do, Janice? I would put a calendar event and say, and just tell yourself, it's Wednesday. Go to my listings to leads and spend 30 seconds to run an ad. That's how you can schedule it. We don't have that. And not that being said, we don't have that running. We're building the ability to schedule your ads. We're not there yet. Okay. So, but let me just talk a little bit about what Javier is saying. And I see a lot of questions. These are excellent questions. I'm going to address them all. Inside listings to leads, or inside Facebook, is our listings to leads mastermind group, and you all should be in there. If you're not in there, ping the support team and ask them what's going on. Oh, who's that? Okay, I didn't see that. Okay. So inside the mastermind group, and this is a total off topic, but we're going to go here because it's super important to real estate right now. Search this guy's name, and this is a big deal. I don't know if Chris is doing this. I should talk to him. But look at Chris Winstead. And when you hear me doing the class about how to get listings, I'm always talking about Chris because he just lays it out nice and clean. If you want listings, go look up Chris Winstead and look at this post in last summer where this guy moves into a neighborhood out of state and in 3 months pulls 5 listings. Okay. He went and bought a list, just like you were mentioning, Javier. He bought a list of people who own their homes for 5 years or more. And he does physical mailings. Now, if you're looking for listings, physical mailings is smart. But if that list included email addresses, then I would be, and so Javier, your list from Cole will probably have their address, their name, their address, their physical address, and their email address. You should by all means be mailing this letter out just like this guy did on their physical address. And at the same time, creating a custom audience of those same people. And they'll also take that custom audience and say, hey, I want a lookalike audience, and be running ads in front of those people all the time. That's how you should do it. Yeah, Alvin, use the retargeting. They're about 50% complete with all info. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it's the world. It's hard to get a full list of everything. Yeah, but Cole's a good company. We have a partnership with them. They're not bulletproof. Sally's got 8 ads a month. Can we schedule PDF reports ads? I've done that. Martin, money. Yeah, if you apply this, guys, let me just tell you, if you apply this little strategy here, look up Chris Winstead, look at this post, read this message. This is how he's getting 5 listings in 3 months in an area that he just moved into. If you apply this and you dovetail it with the 8 ad a month story, your business is growing. No doubt, your business is going to be growing. You do that consistently throughout the year, your business is growing, right? Are there any other questions? That's kind of my message for the day. I think I should have a cup of coffee. I'm happy to answer anything here. There was a question, will it then be running the custom audience and the radius together? Yes, it will. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go create a 10 most expensive ads right here. Yeah, buyers, yeah. So when you do that, you're setting your radius. That means it's gonna have a 15-mile radius, and then it's gonna have whatever it's also gonna overlap with that custom audience. Now I wanna say this, I've left it on 15-mile radius as default, but some of you live in like, more rural areas of the country, and a 30-mile radius totally makes sense, okay? Because people would drive 30 miles to look at that house, or you might drive 30 miles, right, to gain more business. Another time to think about the radius, I was talking to somebody that had got this super sweet listing in the north, and north of DC, and it's like in this super high-end area. And it was it was a high price property. And she's super excited. I said, well, listen, do you want more people to know about that? Right? You're in the DC area. And she's like, yeah. I said, well, maybe you need to increase that radius, and maybe you need to increase that spend so that a lot more people know that you're handling that quality of property. If you got that kind of thing going on, you might want to increase your budget or your radius there. Right? Some people are like, well, I got this old trailer home I need to sell, but I don't really want to talk much about it, but I need to sell it. So, then you kind of scope it down a little bit. Is there a way to get a copy of this video? There is, Victoria. This video is going to be in the Mastermind group, along with all of my other recorded videos. And the way you find it is first get in the Mastermind group by asking the support team, and then go to this magnifying glass here. It's on just under the banner, and type in these magic words: recorded webinar. And you'll find that all of my calls are all recorded, just like today's. And you'll see kind of this Facebook class done multiple times. This has actually been a really good class regarding retargeting and custom audiences. I think, definitely I would look for this. But also one that you should all see is the top tools to get listings. I just mentioned Chris Winstead, but the top, and he was always in that on that call. And actually, if you look in here, just a couple months ago, Chris was on a call with me. Yeah, special guest, Chris Winstead, right? So he had done that post I mentioned to you, and I actually just we were talking, and I said, hey, I'm going to do this class, would you jump on? And he gave us a little more of updates of what he's doing. And I'm going to just tell you this about Chris. Clearly, this guy is using our system. He is having so much success. Remember, I mentioned that he moved into a different state, right? I said, yeah, he moved because he had a kid, and his wife lives in his wife's family is in San Antonio, Texas. So they want to be in that place, right? They wanted to move over there where the family is. Well, now this guy's like saying, yeah, you know what? My wife has quit her job. She's going to be my marketing person because we're doing so well from using your system, right? Our business is growing. So this can totally help your business grow. Since we're talking about searching in here, and this particular topic is one of the most important, getting listings, look up Dustin Fox. You'll know if you watch my recording, look at this post here about his highest ROI, 10 listings from 2 mailings, spending $625, that nearby homeowner letter. This is the top way to get listings. This guy was a green agent, 2 years in the business. I sold their office, and he went from 5 million in production to 20 million in production in 2 years, and tells us, there's a recording of him in this mastermind group too, that 80% of his business, 80% of the 20 million he's doing every year is coming from our tools, and he puts in 2 hours a week on listings to leads. If you want that call, email me, Vince at Listings to Leads, and just say, hey, could I see that call by Dustin? Otherwise, just go look in the mastermind group here, and his call is recorded, and it is in the mastermind group. Chris said, if we didn't want to target someone, to just take them out of the group. Can you tell us where we can do that? Yeah. Well, You know, I can't. Let's see. Like if you're making a custom audience, there is a custom audience. It's essentially like an Excel spreadsheet. So you can go into the file and take that person out. When you're creating an ad, let's go here in advanced options, target, interest. I don't think there's the ability to exclude people here. Yeah. There just isn't. So yeah, if you're inside the the Facebook ad manager, there is the ability to exclude people. They changed that. It's not as powerful as it used to be. But the problem with being inside the ad manager is there are plenty of ways for you to make mistakes and waste your money. So I don't recommend really to any realtor to be running ads inside the Facebook ad manager anymore. If you do it here, we have coded it so that we make this a very, it will work for you. Well, guys, thanks for all the questions. This recording is going to be inside the Mastermind group in just a couple of hours. Apply yourself to this. Take care, and you're welcome, Martin. Take care, everybody. Keep safe, and we'll be in touch. Oh, wait, what's this? When I create a custom audience on Facebook, they tell me what percentage of records were mapped successfully, but they never tell me how I am successfully targeting. That sounds like a question for Facebook, Alvin. I don't know the answer to that one. Yeah, this is Vince, guys, not Chris. But anyway, take it easy. Where do we find the recordings in the Mastermind group? Janice, you go to the Mastermind group, and let me just go there real quickly. Inside the Mastermind group, there's a magnifying glass button right here. Type in recorded webinar, and you know what you're going to see, right? All our recorded webinars. And if you come back here in a couple meetings or in a couple of hours, this recording will be in there, okay? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, try out the ads. And one more thing, guys. Yes, you should all be running 8 ads a week, but also please come in and let us know how they're working right here. A lot of our clients are coming in and say, hey, I captured a bunch of leads and this and that. Let us know. One thing that's really helpful is to know your cost per lead, right? How many leads are you getting? Hey, I ran an ad, I went 7 days, I got 20 leads, it cost me $10 or whatever, right? That helps a lot because everybody is trying to understand how this works. Yeah, I know, Janice, I am too. I've been talking about it for a while. We're making improvements all the time. But that one's just a little bit dodgier to do, a little trickier. All right, everybody, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.